Ogoni Elders Forum, also known as a Bukabari Ogoni, on Monday said it is compelled to raise an urgent alarm over the menace encroachment of on farmlands in some Ogoni communities by armed herdsmen who brazenly graze cows on farms. They are still coming even with all this ban on open grazing. In a statement signed by Monday Abue, chairman, and Desmond Mbeti, secretary of the Ogoni Elders Forum, alleged that for the past weeks, armed Fulani herdsmen have occupied vast areas of farmlands under the effective cultivation in the Ogoni communities of Ba, Luikun, Ba, Seme, Luikum, and Dahi in the Kana local government area and Aheto in Eleme local government area of Rivers State. Okay. The statement retorts the invaders, armed with sophisticated weapons, especially the dreaded AK-47 rifles, some of which are strapped to their cows, have driven away farmers from their farmlands, forcibly occupied the farmlands, and are grazing their cows on cultivated crops. We are particularly concerned by the fact that when confronted by community leaders and representatives of our people, they threatened mayhem and even boasted that the powers that be and the security agencies are aware of their presence and would decisively deal with our people if further confronted. With some sense of deja vu, when we became aware of arrangements by HYPREP for the drafting of soldiers to Ogoni communities, ostensibly to provide security service for the Ogoni cleanup and remediation project, we vigorously protested against the plan via letters to both the Vice President and the Minister of Environment. We saw the planned militarization of our land as a ploy with some sinister motive, since we could not understand why such militarization would be needed for a cleanup exercise that we as a people enthusiastically want to be properly carried out to save our lives and environment. The current invasion by armed herdsmen and their boastfulness that they are being protected by security agents now seem to justify our worst fears. We want to raise this alarm to the authorities that be and alert all lovers of justice in the world that our people cannot afford to be victims of another pogrom. We have had a pitiably sad history in recent times of being massively killed, as well as having the very basis of our livelihood devastated, decades of wanton environmental devastation. Our people mainly depend on subsistence farming as their source of livelihood and sustenance, and do not want any further attempts to add the menace of the marauding invasion by these armed herdsmen to the toxic mix. We are therefore calling on the government and its apparatus to protect our lives, oh my goodness, and property as a people, even as we demand the immediate evacuation of these herdsmen and their cows from our lands. The lives and livelihood of our people cannot and must not be sacrificed for cows. You know, I just say, the people that told you that the power that be, and you are still calling on them. You know, for some time now, these herdsmen have been, of course, we know that for some time too, they've been around the Niger Delta and this and this and that. But where they have been, we have been seeing their activities more, is been southeast and south. No, southeast and southwest. Yes, because there's a kind of a relative peace, and south has been peaceful, while they are carrying all the atrocities in other places. But we know that Benue, that one is that is their area. But for some time now, they have been concentrating their efforts on southwest and southeast, and we are hearing that, and we have been asking, why is it that even the Niger Delta are not saying anything? Well, because maybe they felt that it has not really gotten to them. Of course, they've had the share of all these things before now, but the recent events that we've been experiencing is been in southwest and southwest, rather southeast and south. southeast and southwest. So we are when these incidents happened in Delta State last year, I could remember vividly when I'm always talking about the governor of Delta State has been crying that he wants to hear from Buhari with all these atrocities committed by these people. He didn't say anything up to today. He just boned them. Say, "Funa tire, una go rest." And we were like, what about this militant Niger Delta Avengers? What have they been doing? What have they been doing? What have they been doing? Their own is to concentrate on oil. But see now that is they are even threatening the federal government that because of all the promises. But when it comes to, we have a different set of people who are just agitating for themselves, just few individuals, but they leave the large populace on their own. Those ones are not even benefiting from all this whatever that the Niger Delta militants or the Avengers have been crying for or they are agitating for. So we just have a lot of divided places, a lot of divided groups and divided situations we have at hand. Now it's like the concentration is now going to reverse now because I'm sure this thing they've had their own share. Lots of this man, Asari Dokubo. I think they should call on Asari Dokubo and the Niger Delta Vengeance and the different groups amongst themselves that always cry and clamor for what's to be given to them as a matter of in the as a result of amnesty and what have you. Well, it is not my problem. Mr. Toad, the pipeline guard, should protect his people. He and his people should not be only good at insulting Igbos and attacking Nnamdi Kanu. I doubt the authenticity of this news. It's come to my knowledge that Sahara reporters specialize in decimating news capable of causing mayhem and confusion amidst palpable tension arousing in Nigeria. The effort shall be futile and fruitless. So you should tell us that it is not true. All the things happening in the north too is not true. You don't believe it. Because it is on Fulani, that is why you are saying that, but if it was Igbo, it will have been vice versa. Ishak Yusuf, the people they killed at Ikot Abasi and Ikot Ekpene in their farms too are lies too, Abi. You people are very heartless. You see humans as animals and see animals as humans. So pathetic. Ishak Yusuf, no one is surprised to hear you say you doubt the authenticity of the news because even your brother, President Buhari, doubts and doesn't know anything that happens in Nigeria. Ishak Yusuf, let me ask you, what is your happiness seeing your co-human being slaughtered in cold blood? Need answer, please. What do you want to authenticate as if Fulani Herdsmen are not terrorizing the whole Nigeria, as if it is a new thing? Double tragedy after oil pollution comes Herdsmen to finish the remaining vegetation. Please, my Fulani people, teach those useless pipeline security guards a lesson. Biko, this one is from the southeast. Where is the AK-47 Sahara reporters, IPOP media sponsoring rubbish? Like, seriously? But they are the ones carrying up. There's nothing you're going to say about a journalist. They will say it, whether you like it or not. They will still say what happens. So you can either believe it or just forget about it. So guys, let's hear your opinion and have your take on this.